Hello guys, good evening to you. Today we are going to see about Ferrari, the biography, the untold story, the story behind the true story behind Ford versus Ferrari. Alright, so it was a clash of automotive titans, a years in the making showdown pitting upstart Ford against reigning champion Ferrari for the checkered flag and bragging rights. At the 1966 24 hours of Le Mans endurance race, representing the old world was Enzo Ferrari, former motor racing driver and founder of his namesake marque. Henry Ford, too, was the torchbearer for the New World, enlisting the expertise of automotive designer Carroll Shelby and a new version of a car that would become a classic of international motor racing, the Ford GT40. Right, so the rival began when Ferrari pulled out of a deal with Ford, and that is the bitter rivalry existing between the two brands in the lead up to the endurance challenge of 66 had its roots in a business deal turned sour. In 1963, Ferrari, in dire need of an injection of capital for the company, had embraced Ford when, at the final hour, the Italian businessman walked away from a deal which would have seen the Ford company buy into the Italian brand, and the two became a combined, right, transatlantic automotive racing force. All right, that is transatlantic automotive racing force. Ford tried to buy Ferrari. Ted Ryan, Ford co-founder, okay, Ford company, so archivist, told Fox 2 Detroit. All right, so we negotiated, we had a final deal. Enzo had approved it, and we were all the way to the end with the signature, and he backed out at the last second. Right, so various sources place the blame on Ferrari's displeasure at the prospect of losing autonomy over his cherished racing division. According to Ferrari's personal secretary and confidant Franco Gozzi, a clause in the contract stipulating Ferrari to seek approval for raising budgets over a stipulated figure brought the negotiations to a halt after 22 days. So, per Gozzi, Ferrari said the clause seriously compromised the total freedom and I had been a compromise as racing team director. Seriously, per Gozzi, Ferrari said the clause seriously compromised the total freedom I had been promised as racing team director. Others speculate that the negotiation with Ford had been a tactic to pressure fellow Italian company Fiat to step up to the plate and purchase the major stake in the Ferrari, which it eventually did. Ford wanted to seek revenge on the racetrack, so humiliated in the boardroom, Ford and his executives hatched a plan to get even with Ferrari at the place, and he had achieved his greatest successes, the racetrack. The American company invested a reported 10 billion US dollars in its Le Mans program in particular. The development of the Ford GT for Grand Touring. The GT would become the GT40, the number of corresponding to the legal height requirement for vehicle measured in inches at the windshield. For all the monetary infusion into the program, Ford failed to deliver in 1964. A year later, none of the four vehicles developed and entered by the Americans in the 24 hours of Le Mans even managed to cross the finish line. Worse for Ford, Ferrari continued to take the checkered flag, extending a winning streak in place since 1960. Right? And Ford wanted his cars to finish at the same time. With the Ford now set to dethrone Ferrari, a decision was made in the pits to finish the race in a way that would cement Ford's rising racing dominance and publish a show. Ferrari, the company, is mighty. Alright, might as a track leader. Leo Beebe, then Ford racing director, conceived of stacking a dead heat by having the leading teams reduce speed and pull alongside each other in order for three Ford cars to cross the line simultaneously. So, debates have raged across decades over the decisions to end the 1966 24 hours of Le Mans in such a choreographed fashion. Alright, but one thing not up to conjecture is Ford's resounding win over Ferrari. Capitalizing in its investment and podium placement, Ford would return to Le Mans and win the race again in 1967 and 1968 and 1969. So that was an interesting story about Ferrari versus Ford. Alright, so guys, I'm ending this video. If you like my video, just subscribe to my channel. I'll give you good videos in future, and make sure to hit the bell icon and so you get the notifications, as well as like my video, comment down below, and let's meet with a new topic in a new video. See you until then. Bye bye.